Hello, I'm Shirley Coomer. I serve investors throughout the Phoenix metro area. If you're thinking about selling an investment property and doing a 1031 exchange, I want you to pause for a minute and hear this clearly. The deal rarely fails because the property doesn't sell. It fails because someone misses a date. And when that happens, there's no appeal, no grace period, no extension, just a tax bill. I've seen solid exchange plans fall apart over a single day. One day. That's all it takes. So today, I want to walk you through the key dates that control every 1031 exchange, and more importantly, how to protect yourself before the clock even starts. Let's start with something that surprises a lot of people. A 1031 exchange is governed by federal tax law, not by the purchase contract, not by escrow practices, not by what feels reasonable. The IRS applies these deadlines exactly as written. Weekends count, holidays count, travel delays count, lender slowdowns count. If you miss a deadline, even by a few hours, the exchange fails and the sale becomes taxable. That's why understanding the timeline before you list your property is critical. Not after it closes, before. There are only two official deadlines in a standard 1031 exchange. Just two, but they control everything. The first one is the 45-day identification deadline. Day one begins the day after the property you're selling closes. From that point, you have exactly 45 calendar days to identify your replacement property or properties. In writing. Calendar days means Saturdays and Sundays count. Federal holidays count. If day 45 falls on a Sunday, the deadline does not move to Monday. Your identification must be delivered properly, typically to your 1031 intermediary. A text message does not count. A casual email to your agent does not count. It must follow the formal rules. If you do not identify by day 45, the exchange is over. The second deadline is the 180-day completion deadline. You have 180 calendar days from that same closing date to complete the purchase of one or more of the properties you identified. If you close on day 181, even if escrow was delayed by something outside your control, the exchange fails. Financing delays don't stop the clock. Appraisal issues don't stop the clock. Inspection repairs don't stop the clock. Construction setbacks don't stop the clock. The rule is simple. If you do not close by day 180, the exchange is done. Now here's where I see investors make a costly mistake. They wait until their property closes to start thinking about what they're going to buy. By the time escrow records, the clock is already ticking, and 45 days goes fast, much faster than people expect. In the Phoenix metro area, well-priced investment properties can move quickly. Inspections, lender timelines, and negotiations all take time. If you start searching on day one, you are compressing your options into a narrow window under pressure. Pressure leads to rushed decisions. Rushed decisions lead to weak identifications. And weak identifications create risk. What I encourage my clients to do is begin exploring replacement options before we ever list the property. That does not mean committing early. It means understanding inventory. It means reviewing price ranges. It means looking at realistic closing timelines. It means knowing which property types align with your goals, so that when day one starts, you're not scrambling, you're executing. I've worked with Phoenix area investors who were able to identify replacement properties within days of closing because we had already done the groundwork. That preparation changes everything. Instead of stress, there's clarity. Instead of urgency, there's strategy. Let me share a few timing mistakes I see repeatedly. Waiting until closing to start searching, assuming holidays extend deadlines, underestimating how long inspections, repairs, or financing can take, identifying properties that are unlikely to close within 180 days. Every one of those is avoidable with early coordination and realistic planning. Let me also be clear about my role. I'm not your CPA and I'm not your 1031 intermediary. Tax advice belongs to them. My role is to align your real estate strategy with the calendar. I coordinate with your CPA and your intermediary to make sure the listing timeline, negotiation strategy, and replacement search all fit inside the IRS rules. Because the IRS does not adjust for local market conditions, but we can plan within them. Local knowledge matters when deadlines are fixed. In the Phoenix metro area, inspection timelines, appraisal scheduling, and lender processing can affect how quickly a transaction moves from contract to closing. Understanding those patterns helps us build realistic timelines instead of hopeful ones. And in a 1031 exchange, realistic is what protects you. Let me answer a few quick questions I hear often. What happens if you miss the 45-day identification deadline? The exchange fails and the sale becomes taxable. Do weekends and holidays really count? Yes, they are calendar days. Can you identify a property and change your mind later? You may only close on properties properly identified by day 45. You cannot add new ones after that deadline. Should you talk to a real estate professional before listing? Yes. The earlier we align strategy, the more options you have. A successful 1031 exchange is not about speed. It is about preparation. When you understand the key dates before you list, you give yourself flexibility instead of pressure. You give yourself time to evaluate opportunities thoughtfully. You give yourself a better chance of deferring capital gains and keeping your investment capital working for you. If you are even considering selling an investment property and possibly doing a 1031 exchange, have the conversation before you list. These deadlines are fixed. Your tax bill is not. A 1031 exchange is not just about deferring capital gains. It is about protecting equity you have worked years to build. It is about keeping your capital positioned for the next opportunity instead of handing a portion of it back in taxes because of a missed date. And for many investors, this decision connects to something bigger. Retirement income, asset simplification, estate planning, making sure what you pass on is structured, not stressful. If you are in the Phoenix metro area and want to walk through your timeline, replacement options, and how the calendar will affect your strategy, I invite you to schedule a short planning call with me. You can reach me at 602-770-0643. Let's make sure the clock supports your long-term plan instead of working against it. This is Shirley Coomer. Have a great day.